Hey guys, we are back, me and Killey, for a podcast. We haven't done one in a long time, Killey. You've been super busy. I've been making a lot of adjustments myself. What have you been doing lately, man?
I don't know, playing games,
playing
working.
playing games, working. Yeah, man, the usual. Man, a lot of crazy, weird stuff happened with Street Fighter V lately, for sure. And I was kind of hoping that Capcom would have announced the next DLC character by now, so we could do a podcast on that. But doesn't look like it's happening till maybe the weekend. So I figured, let's just do one now, kind of thing. Also, guys, I'm making some adjustments too to my streaming schedule because my hours on my day job are changing, so I gotta switch my schedule with my streaming. So everything should be back to normal around next week or so. So I'll be sure to update you guys on Twitter and whatnot. But yeah, Street Fighter Five. We didn't do a podcast actually, Killy, on Guile. Like we missed this whole phase during Guile, and this is around the time where Guilty Gear demo came out, and I know you were going crazy on it, right?
Yeah,
So and then you went down to Northwest Majors, right? So.
yes, I did.
So we talked about that too, and you were just repping the Johnny hard, which was funny. We talked about that a little bit before. But did you get a chance to play any Guile?
Very briefly.
What are your thoughts on him?
Mediocre.
Mediocre. As like a character or like design or like
Design, he's really well designed. I just think his, like how he plays and stuff like that, there's a lot of interesting stuff to it, but overall, in terms of how strong he is, seems kind of mediocre.
Well, we everyone figured that like Guile would transition so well into Street Fighter V, because of just his core move set and everything. And then you
Yeah,
add the V trigger and the V skill on top of that, it just seemed like he had the potential to be so strong, you know?
yeah.
So it's like, what is it about him that many people feel like he's lacking? We even have like notable Guile players that main Guile in Street Fighter 4 are saying that seems to be lacking a little bit, and they don't like how he is basically, and they're using different characters still, and not switching over to Guile.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting. It's really hard to predict how good a character is going to be until you literally get your hands on him. And he's coming out. You remember back in like the day, like when Street Fighter 4, when they first like announced Dudley, and
Oh,
we
yeah,
thought he was
yeah.
gonna be so OP. Just
Yeah, all on paper he had like all the tools.
yeah, really.
Three
I-
three frame jazz, plus one block, DP that leads into ultra without spending meter,
Mhm.
high low mix ups, all this high
Damn it.
damage,
You make him sound so crazy, Kelly.
right? And then when he came out, we were like, oh.
Oh. But the thing is, I don't think Guile is that bad. Like I think Guile
Oh,
is okay.
he's okay.
He's okay. I think he's somewhere in the middle. If we were just to put him somewhere right now, he's somewhere in the middle. He's a potential to be some upper mid, but like something seems to be holding him back. And I definitely think it's his normals. They're not as good as I figured they would be, right?
Yeah.
And I definitely feel like it's his normals that are holding him back.
Yeah, it's the frame data with the normals that are a big issue in terms of like how good they are.
Mm-hmm. His back hard punch is pretty sick. I think it's like -1 on block.
Yeah,
It's
but
like
it whiffed
reused,
on
hard
crouching.
punch.
It kind of whiffed on crouching in previous games too. So it's
Yeah,
not-
and this is crush counter in this. You can confirm that in the super. But his forward hard punch, just like, oh man. I love his forward hard punch, but like if they crouch it, you just get bopped for free for it.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's
Sorry,
just,
that was the normal I was talking about. Was
Oh.
his back fist. You were talking about his back fierce, weren't you?
yeah. Sorry.
Back fierce is so good.
Yeah, I said it was really good, but like, his forward hard punch, just with them crouching, I get swept
Yeah.
all the time. Just swept down hard. But it's like his best crush counter too. You just get the full dash and punish when you land it, but it's like, oh, it's just so scary to throw out sometimes. And then just some weird things like his bazooka knee. It's
Oh,
just
it's
so
so
fucking
garbage.
minus, man. Like
So garbage.
it's literally just used as a tool to make you maintain your charge while moving forward. But as a poke in itself, you can maybe throw it out once in a while just to surprise your opponent. Like, hey, remember I got this move too.
And then your
But-
minus on hit.
And then your minus on hit and you get bopped,
It's just
And
like-
then his upside down kick, the forward hard kick, you can't convert into anything unless it's a counter hit.
and the worst part about it is that you only get I think a crouch jab confirm.
Or a
Off-
standing medium punch. Yeah, a close
Oh,
standing medium punch.
standing medium punch. Okay, as long as you get a medium punch off of it,
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. But I'm like, come on, man, crouch jab, is that it?
Yeah.
Like, I know you can go crouch jab into other stuff, but it was just like, oh man, the scaling gets so high. But if you get standing strong off of it, that's pretty good then.
It's not throw invincible at the very startup frames, but it's throw invincible like a little bit after. So you gotta throw it a little early, and it's just not as crazy as it was in Street Fighter 4. You know, I really want that threat because Guile's got good movement speed in this game. He's good
Yeah,
moving back
good
and
walk
forward.
speed. His dashes are okay. They're not the greatest.
I think it's 17 frames.
Um, it's just the distance they cover aren't the greatest. But I wasn't expecting anything crazy with his forward dash, anyways.
So and then his anti-airs are kind of lacking too. Like his crouch and hard punch is okay. Like I use that most of the time. The flash kick trades a lot. But
Stand medium kick is pretty good too.
standing medium kick is pretty good. And in the situations you can use standing medium kick, you can also kind of use forward hard punch as well. You get
I've seen stand strong anti-air as well.
really? Oh, that's probably just weird
It's just
timings. Yeah, definitely weird timings. But like, I definitely want my opponent to be, as scared as possible when jumping in on Guile for sure.
I believe it was an 8-frame timing.
Don't worry, man. We'll be talking about that in a bit. But yeah, but his zoning game is really strong. Like the matchups that we figured characters would have problems with Guile seem to have problems. Like Zangief definitely seems to have problems against Guile. Maybe even Birdie as well. Just throwing out that V skill and then not following up with anything. Like the opponent will always jump right when they see it, and then you can still decide to throw a late Sonic Boom afterwards, which is really funny. So like you don't get the souped up version, but you kind of cover both tracks, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's really really fun. And then like Guile's V trigger is really good. Like it's so easy to convert off of. Just like any combo to a Sonic Boom, you convert a full dash into standing hard punch. And it's just nice to have like a full charge character in the game too. And then his corner loops, I can't wait to see somebody in a tournament pull that off. It'll be really interesting. It's pretty practical, man. It's pretty practical. I'm planning to do a tutorial on it eventually here, just to show you guys exactly how to do it, so people can practice it, because it's funny stuff when you land it, especially online, for sure. But yeah, I just feel like it's just Guile's normals, like honing back a little bit. So it's really interesting. We think that with like new characters coming out of Street Fighter 5, they'd be crazy OP. Like League of Legends styles or something, old school League of Legends. But he seems pretty finished though as a character. He doesn't seem rushed like Alex was, so that's good. And like I said, his V skill and V triggers, it's well thought out in terms of design. So. Overall, the Guile patch is pretty good, like just the new stage, and that keeps things fresh. So we'll see what happens with the next character, for sure. But overall, Guile, yeah, he's really fun to play. I've been playing him for a bit now. But in terms of pro play, I'll see if we'll see more Guile players in the future, for sure. Still needs to be explored a bit, Okay, man, let's talk about the crazy A-frame delay fiasco. So the A-frame input delay, like we've known about this for a while now,
Yeah, like the funny part is that it was discovered within a month or two of the game's lifespan.
Yeah, it was discovered pretty early, and like we knew about like the crazy input delay too on like online as well compared to other fighters and stuff, and there's a lot of video footage and stuff, but no one really talked about it. Like it was just like whatever, right?
Yeah.
But then it wasn't until recently. It's all everyone talks about, It's just such a huge topic right now, and I wonder why that is.
Because I think it's just they're starting to notice the effects of it, especially when you compare it to the PC version when VSync is turned off.
And like I said, when I work on like combo videos and stuff, like I'm using it on the PC version, just easier for me to record stuff, and I can immediately like feel just how much more responsive it is. Just like the 4 frames, it just makes such a difference, It's really weird. Like you can feel it right, like even just by crouching. I don't know, it's strange, man. And well, first off, in case you guys don't know about the 8-frame delay, I'm sure you guys have heard about it by now, but on the PS4 version of Street Fighter 5, there's 8 frames of input delay, around 8 frames. It's not exactly 8. It's like it fluxes, And basically, when you press a button on your controller, it will take the game 8 frames to register that input that you pressed. And this doesn't really affect combos, because combos is like mostly muscle memory and things like that, right? And plus we have the buffer window, the leniency, right, on the combos. But what it does affect is things that you react to visually, things that you see. And these could be things such as when the opponent dashes in on you, or when the opponent even jumps in on you, and other weird things, punishing certain things. A lot of weird stuff, which we'll be talking about here. But the first question I want to ask you, Killey, is, do you think this matters? Like, do you think this is worth addressing? Like, is this a big deal? Is what I'm saying. Is it or is it just something people are just talking about right now?
No, it is a big deal. It's a significant deal.
It's a big deal?
Very much so.
Okay. Like, can you give me just like a reason how it affects the game? Like, just, I don't know, just.
There's a lot of videos out there too that really kind of showcase the problem with this. Primarily, what you're going to see is it affects the footsie game because it's less reactionary, more like preemptive.
It's more proactive.
Yeah.
I'd say, right? It's more with the delay, it caters towards people that are more offensive, right? And it's more like guessing and like, the jumping and all that. And then, like, if you're a reactive player who likes to just whiff punish or react to what your opponent's doing, it's a little harder, basically.
Yeah, anti-airs become less consistent because you have to react faster than you normally would.
Mm-hmm.
And 8 frames is a big difference because normal human reactions are, when they're good, they're like roughly 11 frames.
Yeah.
Or not 11 frames.
It's around 11. I think that's when you
11
anticipate
milliseconds. 11 milliseconds, I should
Okay.
say. So that starts becoming an issue when you have an additional delay that will alter that. So
and that's when you're like anticipating something. Like, when you're playing a fighting game, you can only think of so many things at one time. Like the raw reactions is not the fastest speed ever. Especially when you visually see something. So it's funny. Like, there are some people saying that, like, oh, the average jump is around like 40 frames or whatever, and the average reaction time, even with the 8-frame delay, it shouldn't make a difference on the anti-airs. But I don't think people are putting into account the fact that your anti-airs are timed as well. Like, when someone's toes leave the floor, you don't immediately do an anti-air. You time it so it's deep, so you get more damage. Or if you're using normals, they're going to be used at certain timings.
yeah.
So it doesn't matter how slow their jump is, right? It's a timing issue.
Yeah, it's the fact that your button registers 8 frames later.
Exactly. So there's that as well that people need to put into account. Like, if someone jumps and then you don't realize it's a cross up until then, and then everything's thrown off, that kind of thing. Another thing too is really like dashing is a pretty big deal because dashes are really good in Street Fighter V. They're pretty quick. Average dash is like 17 frames, and then throws beat normals on the same frame. And even though throws are pretty slow in Street Fighter V, it is pretty tough. Where you sometimes when someone dashes in, you'll get thrown when you swear you detect the throw, or you'll get counter hit when you try to press a light punch. And like, who do you think, which characters would be like the biggest offenders that would really benefit from this? Like, for me, I think like Bison, because Bison's dash.
Okay, if we're talking about dashes in general, then it's going to be Bison and Nash that benefit the most, just from a dash perspective.
Okay.
Nash in particular, because obviously everyone knows or seen that video that Graham Wolf did, where...
And that was hilarious, Killey. When I saw that, I was laughing so hard. Like, I was just,
It's like it all makes sense.
It all makes sense now, yeah. And it's just so funny. Like, and then, it makes Nash players want to exploit it even more after you realize that, But in case you guys don't know, with Nash's dash, it doesn't animate until, was it the 8th or the 9th frame? I think it's 8th.
I think it's the 8th frame. So it doesn't animate him moving forward until the 8th frame. So then when he actually does move forward, it basically makes it a 9-frame dash. And then what we typically do afterwards is throw or push button. So basically, he does a 9-frame dash into a 5-frame throw, or his fastest button would be 4 frames, right? His 4 jab. So you do the math, and then human reactions are within 11 milliseconds when they're on point, and then 8-frame delay afterwards, and that becomes a very, very abusable tactic.
Yeah, like Vega and Ken are supposed to have the fastest dashes in the game at 15 frames. So when you have Nash who has like a 9-frame dash, you can imagine how quick it is. Um, but like you could like you know the thing is that's when we say with proactive like when you're playing against Nash now and you understand how this works, you tend to like mash crouching light punch more. Just you're fishing for it. You're fishing for Nash to dash in on you. You know.
You're pushing more buttons to control space, and
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of like the name of the game in SF5 now is controlling space with normals proactively, more so because of the reactions being not saying reactions because of the 8-frame delay. It also makes whiff punishing a lot harder. So your footsie game, like while it still exists in SF5, it's a lot harder than it should be, which also makes jump-ins more frequent too. Like the 8-frame delay just kind of throws every aspect of SF off,
Okay.
and it changes the meta. It does change that meta of how it's played right now. Like yeah, you can still play it the way that you should typically play SF, but I think there's certain things that people have to do now to work around this 8-frame delay.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like other characters that kind of get away with 8-frame delay is Ken in terms of like his run cancel stuff.
Oh
We all
yeah.
know, like when he run cancels a normal on block, he's minus frames, but
I think it's like 6 or 5.
depends on the normal that he uses,
Mm-hmm.
right? And some of them can be double digits minus, but yet when you go to check that dash of a crouch jab or whatever, just that he still blocks in time or whatever. Or in worst case scenarios, you get hit with a counter hit, and then you're like, I swear I was mashing jab, like mashing jab beforehand, and you're still getting counter hit, and it's like, how is this possible? You know, frame data, he is minus. No way he should get away with that. Yeah, he does. So I mean, there are other factors that come into it when he's doing stuff like that, like whether you anticipate it, whether you're not anticipating, whether you're purely reacting to it, timing of your button presses. But I mean, that 8-frame delay does alter that. It also makes punishing harder. Usually, you just have to push the button earlier. But when you're like when you're not anticipating certain moves, it can make punishing a lot more difficult than it should be. Right. So yes, it's a big deal, a huge deal, and should be fixed.
Well, see, like the thing is with Ken, like you see even we'll talk about Stunfest in a bit, but Momochi was like he has a setup where he goes crushing medium kick with Ken and run cancels it into like standing hard punch or a back medium punch, which is ridiculous. Like it's so minus, it's crazy, and I see this thing counter hit every fucking time. You know, it's really funny because the thing is when you're playing against like a Nash or a Ken, you're really scared of their run cancels. Or Nash randomly dashing in on you, and you're proactively mashing jab. The thing is, it's really scary because if Ken decides to not run cancel and just presses hard kick, or Nash does a forward hard punch or whatever, you're gonna get crush counter. You're gonna get blown up. So it turns into kind of like this guessing game, you know. You there,
Yeah,
Kaylee? Okay.
it shouldn't.
Sorry,
It
I thought you
shouldn't.
were like,
No, and it shouldn't turn into a guessing game because you should be able to react to those things accordingly. Because you can't, or you have to do something differently, like a workaround for this 8-frame delay. It's a bigger deal than people realize. Like, yes, people will adapt and people will carry on. Like, as a competitor, that's all you can do, right? Is adapt to the 8 frames and do workarounds around it. Like, it's part of the game. You have to deal with it and play around it. But it does alter things that things shouldn't be.
it's one of the greatest, like I said, it's gonna be one of the greatest OS excuses of all time. Like every time you get hit by something, you're always in your back of your head. You're like, was that because of the 8-frame delay? Is that legit? No, every single time now. It's so funny.
It's such a mind game too, right?
It is. Like, it really is. It mind fucks you like crazy.
It's like everything can be. You can just OS everything with that 8-frame delay.
Yeah, man. It's ridiculous.
You can take other real life OSs and apply the 8-frame delay OS.
There's already a ton of memes already, man. Have you seen Twitter?
Oh god, it's just
It's the
nonstop.
shit, dude. Twitter's the shit right now.
The best OS is the one where you go, I don't even play this game OS, right? When you win or lose, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like, I don't even play this game because of the 8-frame delay. Like, oh god.
Oh man, that's so godlike.
An OS within an OS already.
So the thing is like, do you think Capcom knew about this 8-frame delay? Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention too, guys, is on the PC version of Street Fighter V. If you disable VSync in the auto config, it goes down to 4. And I heard if you use legacy inputs on the PS4 version, it also brings it down as well. It's really messed up, man.
Legacy controllers, yeah. So the thing is, and I've talked to someone who's quite knowledgeable in these kind of things. And he said normally VSync off should only remove about 1 frame instead of 4 frames.
Mm-hmm.
Or in this case, yeah, about 3 to 4 frames. So for VSync being disabled to bring the frame delay down by another 4 frames, it's like, it makes you wonder, it's like, what's that inherent delay seems to be part of the code.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they delved deeper into the code itself, they said like that 8-frame delay doesn't actually get applied when you're playing online.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to deal with the native delay of online. So it's like, what is going on here? Like, how did they code this game? Like, why is it done this way?
I just find it suspicious because overheads in this game are so slow and they're punishable. They're all like -6. A lot of them are -6. You know, it's just strange. It's almost as if like the game was designed around it. I don't know. It's suspicious. But another thing too is like when you look at the hitbox information for the game, you can see how exposed you are after you whiff a normal. Like the game is built around footsies. You know, whiff punishing is supposed to be very big in this game.
But it's so hard. It's much harder to do.
Yeah, it is. You know, it's funny. The only thing we're punishing is sweeps. I don't know, it's really, but that's the thing. Like Ultra Street Fighter 4 was like 4 to 5 frame delay.
Most fighting games are actually have inherent about 4 to 5 frames delay, but they're still within the realm of being responsive enough that you don't really notice it.
So is that 3 frames really make that big of a difference?
Yes, because it becomes visual. It becomes when you push an input and your button's not responding within a certain time frame, it becomes visually distracting.
Okay.
And I think that's a big problem. It's like when you tap down, like down back on the joystick to like say like when you're walking forward and you want to crouch block, right? And in SF5, people tend to get hit a lot before they can walk and block. And that's never, ever happened in the previous SF game, and most other fighting games as well. So that 8-frame input delay, it not only is it becoming a visual distraction, it's also causing issues where common tactics aren't working the way you think they should. Mm-hmm. So it plays a lot more in the player's head than you really want it to.
There's like shimmies are really strong because of it too.
Yeah, because you can't really react to the throw tech the way you want to, right? So you kind of have to commit to pushing the
Killey, you're cutting out. You're like lagging.
Earlier, which makes the shimmy strong. Hang on.
Sorry about this, guys. Killey's like cutting out. Seems to be good now. It was like yellow before, but sorry guys, we're on Skype. It seems to be good now, Killey.
Okay.
Keep going. You're doing good. You're doing good, man. Get him, Killey.
Lost my train of thought.
You were just talking about like the shimmies and how
you
have to get.
Okay, so you can't react properly, right? And then shimmies become stronger because you're pushing the button early, and then they're like, okay, I'm gonna fake you out now, and then it's like, oh crap, get shimmied.
It's like everyone turns into Zangief. Everything turns into reeds, you know, just crazy reeds. It's funny though, with Street Fighter 4, like we have this whole like option select issue, and then now the Street Fighter 5 seems to be this strange like proactive issue. Like it's really, really funny, man. All these different things. In terms of the 8-frame delay though, like I don't think Capcom's gonna fix it anytime soon. I really don't. I think They got other things to worry about, you know? Like playing catch up alone for sure is definitely an issue for Capcom. If they are gonna fix it, I don't see it happening until like a year, until the very big patch, the massive patch, the expansion patch, basically. I don't feel like they will address it until then, until after Capcom Cup is done. What do you think? You think they're gonna fix it?
Very tough to say. It really depends on how the coding is and how they designed it.
Mm-hmm.
If this was truly built into the game for a specific reason, I'm like, ugh.
And you're really down about this too, right, Killey? Like this,
Yeah, this kills it for me,
it
man.
kills it for you. Like, and not just like as a player, but like as a spectator as well, right? Like when you watch pro play, you know, when you see it, you know, does it affect your viewing experience as well?
Oh, for sure. It
Yeah.
becomes very questionable. Tactics become like questionable, and then um, the way the meta has kind of evolved for the game is just like not the direction I really want to see the game go into. I
Okay.
wanted more focus on a neutral game with footsies and stuff. But now what we're seeing here is a lot of proactive buttons, which kind of creates more scramble situations.
Mm-hmm.
And it almost evolves into like where you feel like they're just mashing buttons
Mm-hmm.
defensively, offensively, like just like all over the place. And then jumps are more prevalent now, and just like all these things compact together, and it just kind of like it really kind of ruins the game for me.
Okay, yeah, that's totally understandable, man. Like, there's a lot of funny tactics you can do, especially like you cross up with a light attack and then you press your crush counter. You know, it's the weird, a lot of weird setups and things you could do. Are the classic online where you walk up to them as the opponent's getting up and you do a neutral jump and then you see them whip the throw and they eat like a full punish. Like a lot of funny shit. Oh man. Okay, well, let's move on to Stunfest. You watched Stunfest, right, Kelly?
Um, I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched most of the top eight.
Mm-hmm. Basically,
Just
it
the
was really
timing of
interesting watching
Stunfest.
Momochi and like just seeing Ken rise to the top. You know, like Ken has been getting so much action lately in tournaments that everyone's kind of forgot about Mika. And you know, Ken's just doing really well, and then now everyone's just like, "Oh, it's the 8 frame delay," you know, it's 8 frames. Ken's just abusing it crazy, and it's really funny because, like I said, Momochi's doing like these all like, you know, people are human. They're not gonna react to the Ken V skill every fucking time, but it's just funny how
Yeah.
much Momochi gets away with it, you know, and how, like, I'm sure he knows about it and how he works around it and stuff too, right? And I just noticed while watching Stunfest there was just like a lot of jumping going on, and like that's what we're talking about, the whole proactive thing. You know, one thing, you know, when we look back on our old podcasts with Street Fighter Five, like we're both really excited, you know, about like the footsie and how going back to the core fundamentals and stuff. And one thing that I really liked when we first got to play the game, and we saw in the early footage, is how much damage everything did. Everything was so powerful,
Yeah.
damage-wise. And I was kind of down about that when they started lowering the damage a bit, because I liked the game to be super punishing. You know, like 2 good reads and that should be enough to win a round, kind of thing.
Hmm.
The one of the like core reasons why I like it is because I like strong anti-airs. I like the idea of when someone anti-airs you, you eat a lot of damage. Like a lot of damage. Enough that you're like, this is very risky. But it doesn't seem to be the case. You know, it's kind of frustrating when you play like a character like Alex, for example, who your core anti-air is like standing light punch. And the thing is that Alex has got strong anti-airs. You know, I use the EX knee whenever I can. But for normals, he's got like his helicopter, the forward hard punch would be an excellent anti-air. It's a crush counter. And his crouching hard punch is a good juggle into his EX knee or a light chop. But the problem is these are slow. You know, they're around 10 frame normals. And I can't help but think, you know, these are 10 frame normals, but if the 8 frame delay wasn't in the game, would I be able to use these powerful anti-airs more often? You know?
But even didn't Filipino champ say like with Dalsum, he'd be able to use back fierce as an anti-air more frequently.
He did. He said he would use it, but he says with the, you know, delay, it's unreliable. And imagine how much damage Dawson gets off of that with the crush counter, right?
Yeah.
It's massive. You know, it's massive. And instead, you gotta use standing light punch, and standing light punch is an excellent anti-air for Dawson, but it's like, how many times do you have to use it on your opponent? Like, he's never gonna care. He just needs one jump in.
So the risk group, basically, what this causes is the risk reward for jump-ins are skewed in the favor of the person who decides to jump. It's like, yes, you anti-air them with a stand jab, and it puts them in a reset situation, but the damage is so minuscule, and if they block on the reset situation, and most of these reset situations aren't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Unless you're fighting against like a grappler. But I mean, if you have a reversal option, that's a risk that the person on the defensive has to take when he anti-airs you with a stand jab.
Mm-hmm.
And instead, if he could have reliably anti-aired you with a heavier normal into a knockdown, right, that would have been a much more favorable situation for him than a stand jab into a potential reset.
Mm-hmm.
So all of that gets skewed in the favor of the aggressor. And so jump-ins are now, you see it a lot more in SF5. It's just jump-ins are crazy. Like, you just see people who just continuously jump despite getting anti-aired multiple.
The reward is just so fucking huge. And and this is not just because of the A-frame delay, but it's just a combination of both.
Right? Because, again, like, part of the neutral game now is throwing out buttons proactively. And you're throwing out heavy buttons because of the rewards you get for crush counters and stuff like that. But heavy buttons are slow in startup and stuff like that. So people are like, okay, I'm just going to jump over these normals instead. And they treat it like you're throwing out a fireball, basically. Even fireballs themselves, right? Fireballs are slower. Like slower recovery, slower startup, stuff like that. So like people will jump in on a fireball more. And just the risk reward is skewed in their favor. They don't eat enough damage for a correct anti-air to really persuade them to stop jumping.
And that's unfortunate.
And it's
I love like strong anti-airs, And
it's extremely frustrating, right? Because you anti-air this person, and then it's like that one time that you mistime it or whatever like that.
Yeah.
Or like the one time you didn't successfully anti-air and they jump in, they get this huge damage, and it's like, I just anti-aired you like how many times in a row, and you didn't stop jumping. Like, you didn't learn, and it's like, okay, like, what's the point? And for them, and when you think about it, it's like, okay, when you think about it from their perspective, it's like, why should they stop jumping, right? How much reward they get,
and it just makes you want to jump on them, so you don't have to deal with that bullshit, Yeah.
And so it's just like, now you go air to air instead of anti-air, and yeah, your ground game goes completely out the window.
Yeah.
Before it was like you play the footsie game, you play them on the ground to force them to try to jump in, and then you anti-air them.
Yeah, you want them to jump in because it's free damage, right? But
now it's like, no, it's the complete opposite.
You're too scared to press buttons because he's gonna jump in.
Yeah, so it's just a very strange turn.
It is strange. It is strange how this game is starting to evolve. It is strange for sure. Do you think Capcom was afraid to make anti-airs too strong because newer players would tend to jump more? Like, what do you think? Like, let's say anti-airs did 15% damage, just randomly thrown out there. Like, we're talking like Sin from fucking Guilty Gear anti-air damage. You never want to do it again.
Sin does like what? 60% maybe more.
Okay, maybe that was a bad example.
It's so bad. Well, it depends on how much meter he has and stuff like that.
Okay, 50%. Would that discourage? Because Capcom doesn't want one of their design philosophies. They don't want new players to not have fun. They don't want it because zoning is considered not fun when you can't do anything. But how else are you gonna teach players, right? If they're just gonna keep on jumping. So I don't know. It's a strange balance.
There's also like a lack of invincible anti-airs, right?
Yeah.
DPs.
Which is strange because there's no FADC system. And you can't V-trigger off like these invincible...
But they wanted less reversals. Less like wake-up reversals. But there's a lack of like good special move anti-airs, like invincible anti-airs.
Which is scary too because like, they thought they took a lot of the Vortex game because of the hard knockdowns and stuff. But there is still a lot of Vortex games still in there. Like, Laura is really moving up there with it. And there's Mika, of course, and it's just really scary for a lot of characters to deal with that shit, you know?
Yeah, because they don't have a reliable reversal against their mix-up game, and so V reversal doesn't quite cut it because the command grab, right?
And people are starting to figure out how to counter V reversals really hard with the throws now. It's starting to get a
Really,
little obvious.
yeah, like I really think V reversals need adjustment.
Okay.
I don't think, like, we always complained about V reversals since the beginning of the beta, right? Like
Yeah.
E3, we were like, V reversals are just not worth it.
Mm-hmm. I remember before, when I was going through the beta patch notes for Ryu, I was really, really down about Ryu's DP getting extra damage when it's deep, especially as an anti-air. Like, you lose like half the damage if you don't do it deep. And I remember complaining about it before, and I was like, why should me, the Ryu player, who anti-aired you, be punished for not timing it correctly when the opponent was the person who jumped in the first place? You know?
Yeah.
That always, like, it just boggled my mind. It frustrated me so much. I'm just like, why should I get punished? He was the one that jumped. Who cares what my timing is?
Yeah.
You know, I stopped him from jumping, you know, but that's just the way the design philosophy is. It's really strange. If anything, it should be a lot of damage, and if I time it right, it's even more damage, you know? Like,
yeah.
It shouldn't be like a penalty. It should just be like an extra thing. And, yeah, I don't know. I really wish the anti-airs were a lot stronger in the game.
Like, I mean, that's more of a nitpick and personal preference.
Of course.
But,
just personal, yeah.
Yeah, we're always on the assumption that, like, when you play SF, you want to play the ground game. Like, jumping should be not necessarily last resort, but it's like you set up the situation to make the jump viable. But when jumps become more prevalent in SF5 because the risk-reward is skewed in the favor of the aggressor, there's a problem there. In our opinion, anyways, there's a problem there.
Like, the point we're trying to make is just, like, with the A-frame delay, the anti-airs, and the weird, like, dashing and all that stuff, like, before, when we see the way Street Fighter V is being designed, the foundation, we just want that strong neutral game, you know? It's so fun to play, and it's entertaining to watch. But, like, we're starting to see things that don't make it that strong, you know? And like I said, the way Street Fighter V was built, where, you know, the no hard knockdowns, and with punishing, the hitboxes are so extended out when your moves are recovering. It just seems like Capcom didn't intend this either, you know? So, like, we'll have to see where that big first patch for Street Fighter V, what direction this game goes, you know?
Yeah.
Definitely a bummer. For some of us, of course. For some of us. Anything else you want to talk about with Stunfest? Sorry, I thought you watched like the whole thing, so there's not much I can talk about. It was really jumpy.
Yeah, a lot of jump-ins at Stunfest. Fudo making second place was a surprise. Like,
Yeah,
Fudo's a talented player.
Of course.
But the way he plays Mika is very different from other Mika players. Like, he cashes out his damage. He doesn't go for resets that often. He'll cash out his damage.
And Momochi, like, he DP'd him so many times those first 2 rounds, man.
It costed him the winners.
It did, and it
sent him to lose.
It was like he wanted to send a message so early, you know? This is really funny.
I just shook my head when I saw Momochi constantly DP. And
well, these guys must play each other all the time, right? So, like, Momochi just really wanted to surprise him, and Fudo just wasn't having it, you know?
Like, he deserves to get punished for that.
Yeah.
Winners. I mean, obviously he came back and won it, but it was just like, seriously.
I saw Luffy was doing better with Mika as well.
Yeah, he improved a lot.
Yeah,
that
the
was,
Mika players are starting to
surprising.
adjust, and that's good to see, man. It really is.
Like, he made it decently far.
I heard Valmaster switched to Chun.
As he should have. Like, that's who he's known for.
That's cool,
like,
man.
As good as Chun is in this game, like, you're nuts to not use Chun. Like, it didn't make any sense.
And then Xian still pulling it out with Fang.
I think he said he was giving it 1 more month. 1
more month, you said?
Yeah, I think so.
I think he's doing quite well with them, honestly.
He made top 8, so that's...
He made top 8, man. You can't, you know... I think, I mean, the way he plays, he's doing so well, but I can't imagine him... Like, if he played any other character, I'm sure he'd do even better. You know?
Yeah, like, any other character he'd do better with. I don't know, he's always the type to rep that low-tier status. Like,
hell yeah, man.
Remember Gen?
Dude, when they released that first big patch, you know Fang's gonna be, like, the best character in the game, and then all his work paid off.
Possibly. It's tough to say. It's just Fang.
Well, I heard, word on the street is that they're gonna give Fang a V trigger and a V skill in the match. So like, I can't wait to fucking see it, man. Yeah, I'm fucking.
Fang's breaking his balls.
Yeah, it's literally balls, purple balls, dude.
Breaking his balls, man.
Yeah, man. Okay, it's all good. Stunfest, everyone watched it. It was entertaining. What is on?
Yeah, it was pretty.
Yeah, it was entertaining. It's just now with this whole A-frame thing, it's really funny, just like even from as a spectator, just like, oh, fucking A-frame. I don't know, it's funny, dude. We just say it all the time, even as a joke, man. Like, we don't even use it in Street Fighter 5. We use it in every game we play. It's so funny, dude. Like, I'll fall down in a pit in Mega Man 1, I'll be like, fucking A-frame delay. So the next topic was the next DLC character. So what the fuck is going on, man?
We don't know.
It's May 25th, and we got no news. What the hell's going on? Oh, actually, we did get news. We got a tweet. See if I can find
Combo
it.
Breaker, yeah, they're announcing.
Yeah, they're announcing on Combo Breaker. And that's this weekend, isn't it?
I think so.
What the fuck, man? That's gonna be like May 28th or May 29th. Like, oh god, man. So we heard the word on the streets. We heard rumors that, well, there was like some stupid post where they're like, oh, the next character is actually going to be Ibuki and Balrog's not finished, which was very suspicious because we knew Balrog was playable last Capcom Cup, so this character's got to be done by now. And there's like a 99% chance it's going to be Balrog, especially when we go from the left to right portrait on the DLC characters. Mm-hmm. So with Balrog, and so just like, oh, I guess we'll find out on Tuesday anyways, because there's another rumor that we're going to get an announcement on Tuesday, and they're going to, show off Balrog or whatever, or they're going to officially announce that they're going to release a character on the 4th week of every month, besides June, because of the story update. And then, it's going to be Balrog. So both things seem to be wrong. Both rumors are, I guess, wrong. We didn't get shit. No announcement whatsoever. Just in the dark. I figured Capcom was picking it up because with the Guile announcement, things seem to be going good on the PR side of things. But now it's just we're in the dark again, and it's getting scary. It's getting scary, Killey. I'm getting scared, man. I'm not lying. I'm getting these weird like cross Tekken vibes going on, man. Like these weird shivers, like randomly. Like I'll be like just walking around, all of a sudden I'll just get this weird shiver, and then like I'm like looking around, and then like I just look at my pile of games that I don't play anymore, and I see Cross Tekken there. I'm just like looking at it, and I'm just like,
it's just magically to the top.
Yeah, it's just at the top, and I'm like, that's strange. Why is it so cold down here? I guess I'll just turn on the heat. But like, yeah, this is really weird. The PR side of things. I just really wish that Capcom would. Sure, we get a character at the end of every month. Fine, the Capcom's playing catch up. That's understandable. One character a month is excellent. In terms of content, especially when we get the character for free. Can't complain, right?
Yeah.
But it's just the way we got to know that the launch was rocky. It was rocky as fuck, right? Yeah. And we want to. Capcom wants to keep this game like, hey guys, don't forget about Street Fighter 5 because like we got some godlike games been coming out the last bit, right? And people are gonna forget about Street Fighter 5. Fighting games are a niche to begin with, and it'd be nice to be like, the way they should do it is when they release the trailer for the character, there's a teaser for the next character. Then the first week of the month, they show screenshots of the character. And then the second week, they explain the move list of the character. And then the third week, maybe they show, a quick demo of the character or the trailer of the character. And just keep going, something per week, keep the ball rolling,
Yeah.
And just discussion, don't just not say a single thing and then wait until the second last day before the character comes out and then release them. It's just weird. This is really weird. And like, I don't doubt like the talent in the Capcom team, but I strongly feel that there's someone or some people in Capcom, the company itself, like somewhere in the really high up, that's like just has an old way of doing things and it's just holding everyone back, man. That's how I really feel, honestly. There's some dinosaur in there. Just dragging people down, man. It seems old fashioned. It seems not 2016, That's the only way that's the nicest way I can put it, I guess. Without like burning the whole town down. You know what I'm saying? You feel me, Killey?
Yes.
Oh my god. I know you would say some stuff too, but it's okay. I'll take it from here. Oh man. But like in terms of the next character though, like do you care if it was Balrog or Ibuki? I'm kind of hoping it was Ibuki because
I like Ibuki more than Balrog.
yeah, because like with the thing is that Alex is like a hybrid charge. Guile is a full charge. So if our third character is another charge, and it's funny too because I was complaining that we need more charge.
You need more charge characters.
But now being like a hypocrite, now I'm complaining they're getting too many charge characters. I just feel like it would have made more sense if the next character is Ibuki, So,
yeah.
I don't know. I hope Capcom releases more stages too, man. Per character, it'd be really nice. How would you like them to do Ibuki, by the way?
I don't know. It's just a tough character.
Before you said you didn't want her to have a command dash this time. Like you said, there's too many command dash. But that's with the 8-frame delay, man. Another character with command dash cancel.
She can't have the vortex, obviously.
Okay, yeah.
So you have to compensate for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she was terrible in Third Strike, just garbage in that Third Strike. But she was the best character in second best character or whatever like that in Second Impact.
Okay.
So it was just like, how do you balance this character out?
What makes her unique though? Like, what makes her unique? The air projectile. Like, what is it like that like makes Ibuki?
She's just kind of annoying, right?
Yeah, just kind of annoying.
Just annoying too, because she's just in and out, right?
Yeah.
But her walk speed is so bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'd rather like give her a good walk speed. Let her play a footsie game, right? And let her just like poke you in it, like just constantly like just annoy you. Kind of like how Chip is in Guilty Gear. Like Chip's just all over the place, and then he has like a crazy vortex game too. But he's just all over the place, and he just annoys you because it's like hard to pin him down. But if you touch him, he just dies.
He
right?
explodes. He's just glass.
He just explodes.
He's just glass.
I wouldn't call him a glass cannon, but it's just like like Ibuki as being the ninja theme, right?
Mm-hmm.
Should be someone that has good mobility, a lot of tool set to annoy someone, but if you touch them, they like take so much damage, right? But they're not the definition of a glass cannon, right? They shouldn't be high damage output. They should just be really hard to pin down.
Hey, this is kind of off topic, but what's the guts like rating mean in Guilty Gear? Because I was looking at the Japanese version's out, and I was looking at Raven, and they said like he has the highest guts, like 5 or something.
5.
Like what does that mean? Like I think it was a big deal apparently.
It's like it kicks in faster, and does like he takes less damage once guts kicks in.
It kicks in sooner on the life bar. Is that how it works?
I don't know if it's sooner per se. But I know it's just like it affects how much damage he takes once guts kicks in.
Okay, it's like damage reduction.
Like, I think it is the modifier and like when it kicks in or something like that. But I don't worry about guts too much. But yeah, it's significant in the design, like the fact that his guts is so high. Like I think Chip also had a pretty high guts modifier, but because his life is so low, like he still dies pretty quickly. But don't quote, like, I'm not sure if that's 100% accurate there. Like I said, I don't follow the guts ratings too much.
So, the next kind of little topic, just people are wondering about what we feel like on the tier list.
What?
In Street Fighter 5, just like with this whole like thing now, like the adjustments we make it. And I said before that like, we would talk about it again like after CEO. Because that'd be like a good jump for the next time too. But like, do you think with this like 8-frame delay thing that like certain characters are moving up and certain characters are moving down?
Okay, if we're gonna go over it, you move Ken up, you move Cammy up, you move Bison down, and like Vega maybe a notch down, and that's about it.
Wow, you summarized it pretty well. Like that was pretty much what I was gonna say. I feel like Ken is moving up for sure. Like. For sure. And then Vega with like the situational anti-airs, you think you'd move him a notch down?
You move a notch down, footsies are harder, so it's like very hard for him to kind of play that footsie game. His damage output is pretty ridiculous though. But yeah, situational anti-airs hurts him. What else, I guess?
If we were gonna say a quick top 5, what would you say? Like I'll tell you mine, okay? Just give me time to think, and I'll just tell you mine first, okay?
Okay, hang on.
Just a quick top 5. It just pop in your head. Yeah.
You first or me first?
I'm gonna go first. But I'm just giving you time to think.
Okay.
Okay, can I go?
Yeah.
All right. In no particular order, guys. In no particular order. My top 5 right now is Nash still, Chun-Li, Ryu, Karen, and Ken are my top 5 in Street Fighter 5 right now. With all the things that have been going on lately, that's how I feel. I'm not even going to explain my reasons. Just that's if you guys wanted to know, that's it. What's your top 5, Kelly?
The same, but I don't know whether I put Karen up there or not.
Okay. Who would you replace Karen with? There's some good candidates. There's Dawson could go up there. What about Nikali? Nikali could go up there.
Oh yeah. I'd probably fit Nikali in there.
Okay.
It's like a toss-up between Nikali, Karen, and maybe Cammy. That's a big maybe.
Yeah, that is a big maybe. But we are seeing a lot of Cammy action, man. We are seeing a lot of Cammy action, which is cool.
That'd be like the candidate for like within top 5 range.
What? If
maybe
Karen
and
is not your top
also Vega. Sorry, it should.
Oh yeah, Vega. Yeah, I know. You're very strong on Vega. Like I know you still feel like that character is not fully unlocked yet, unleashed. You know. But why don't you think Karen's up in that top 5 spot? Like might not be. I mean, like, what do you think's holding her back? Just the weaker V trigger.
Yeah, the weaker V trigger. Like, the comeback factor isn't as strong with Karen as a result. Like, yeah, she can do all these resets and stuff like that, but it's just like you spend so much time conditioning. Like, it's a high risk reward V trigger.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the greatest. So, just trying to figure out if she edges out those other characters. I mean, she's within top 5 range. Like, it's like, yeah, you could put her in top 5, and I wouldn't necessarily argue with it too much. But there are also other characters who could be within that top 5 range.
Yeah, there's a lot of good characters, right? So that's good.
It's like, why I would probably put Nikali in there instead of Karen.
Mm-hmm. Just his V trigger is so fucking strong, man. It's so good.
Just, yeah.
You know, there are a lot of things they're doing in Stunfest too, Killey, is they're converting a lot of light punches now into V trigger off a lot of characters.
Yeah, a lot of characters.
That's really cool. I like that. Yeah.
A lot of what drives me crazy because they like go wake up jab into V trigger and just,
the 8-frame delay, bro.
I just roll my eyes. Because it's like it's usually a character that also has an invincible reversal. So it's like, okay, I'm going to try to bait this reversal. And then the guy goes, wake up, 3-frame jab, V-trigger, bitch, I'm plus.
2-frame jab, what the fuck?
I said 3-frame.
Oh, sorry. Oh, man.
Plus on block.
A plus, bro.
Bet you didn't expect that, so you roll your eyes and you're like, try to bait the DP.
Bison, he's got a fucking
like
tattoo on his bicep that says I'm plus. Oh, man. So good. So good.
Even in scramble situations, right? They like mash
especially. That's where it's so good, you know?
They mash on that jab, and it's like, V trigger activate, and then they convert off.
If they can't fix the 8-frame delay, they gotta make a dash and a counter hit. If someone hits you on dash, it's gotta be a counter hit, man. So I could do like some full punishes here. And make jump ins counter hit too, please.
Oh yeah, that'd be
good.
God. I think the most godlike confirm I saw at the Stunfest was from Haitani. What did he do? He like landed the target combo.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Into the target combo, and ended the target combo in V skill, which gave him that bar to go into V trigger, and then he confirms into the activation, and then he goes the disc guy.
That was the sickest play of the night for sure. What he did was he got a crush counter fucking overhead, and then he crush counter overhead, because like that's a crazy part because he's really far from 3 bars, but the crush counter overhead, and he's like, okay, got more bar, and then he was able to put into account during that time that he's gonna get V trigger off the target combo, which was a crazy confirm. And then he V-trigger cancels the fucking V-skill into the hard punch. What are the stupid slime moves? Yeah, Berserker Slash. And I was like, holy shit, that was a nice confirm, you know? Yeah, really nice by Haitani. Really sick. Yeah, Gamer B and Hytania. Yeah, it's so entertaining to watch, man. Those two guys. Oh man. Okay, so
What did Gamer B do actually?
Gamer B did fine. He did have troubles against someone. I don't remember. Yeah, I think Gamer B is gonna do really well at During Evil. He does so well in tournaments.
Oh, yeah.
I really like watching him play.
That guy's clutch too.
Oh, he's hella clutch, dude. Yeah, hella clutch. I think Nicole is a perfect character for him. Okay, last topic is just a little bit about future fighting games. What games do we have to look forward to this summer?
Guilty Gear in Japan is out right now.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone's on that Raven and Coon train.
Did they show anything on Disney yet?
Nope.
Damn, man. It's
They
an
also
8-frame
said-
delay, bro.
They also said the story mode is incomplete. So there is a story mode, but it's incomplete, and they will release episodic updates to the story mode for free.
Is this the story mode, Killey, where like you just sit and watch?
You sit and watch.
Okay. So the cutscenes.
So I think right now it's about 5 episodes, something like that. And the original Guilty Gear Zerd Sign had 10 episodes.
How long was it? Like
about
duration?
3 hours, I think.
Holy shit!
Something like that. It's quite lengthy,
Yeah, it's like a anime series, man. It's cool.
pretty much. So yeah, could be that they just ran out of time, or maybe some of the content is related to Dizzy. Who knows? The interesting part in the story mode, I probably shouldn't say it because then it'll be spoilers.
Spoilerinos.
I'd rather not. There's some screenshots floating around that shows off some of the older characters. I won't say who exactly, but it's pretty hype.
Hold the
Maybe.
door.
Maybe, oh, God. Maybe next game we'll see some of those older characters make a return. That'd be pretty sick.
I'm pretty excited for Guilty Gear, man. We'll definitely be covering some Guilty Gear stuff when it comes out. I definitely want to show off like the tutorial and stuff.
You should see the new lobby system, man. Holy crap!
Yeah, I saw. It was kind of reminding me
So
of
nice.
DOA, like the old Dead or Alive from on 360. Like how everyone is like walking around and stuff. It's weird, man.
It's kind of like how they did BlazBlue and Persona and stuff like that.
Okay,
But
that's pretty cool.
It is so detailed. Their lobby system, it's insane. There's even like training cabinets. So like it's all laid out as an arcade, right? Just like the other games they did.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of head-to-head cabinets that you play on with your opponent, but there's also a side area to play training mode cabinets. So it's like, oh man, so insane. Even in like player lobbies, right? In a full player lobby, you'll have four head-to-head cabinets,
Mm-hmm.
and then off to the side is one cabinet by itself. That's just training mode.
That's so cool, man.
It's so funny. And then in player lobbies, there's like a soccer ball in the middle that you can punt around while waiting.
What? So random.
And then in the main lobby area, there's like a pond where you can go fishing for items and stuff like that. And you spend in-game currency to fish for these items. And the beauty part is you earn the in-game currency now through online as well. Before in Third Sign you couldn't through online play, but now you can. So it's great.
It's cool. You can go on that grind and then still earn it. That's cool, man. What else do we have? We got King of Fighters, man.
I'm so looking
Are
forward.
you ready to burn to fight?
I'm ready to burn the fight.
Holy shit, man.
I look at
August.
that full cast that they reveal.
All I can see is trials, man. All I can see is trials.
Yeah.
Fucking can't wait.
I get hyped.
Man.
So many characters.
Dude,
Seriously,
what's your team gonna be, man?
I think the starting team is going to be, I think his name is Shihun, or something like that. The main guy from Team China.
Uh-huh.
He's got the fire powers, like the blue and orange flames.
Okay.
So him for sure. I want to play around with Nakarur, because I love Nakarur.
Ooh. Mama haha.
Yeah. And Yuri or K-Dash. And King. Like those...
Holy shit, man.
Like the first two that I mentioned are ones I really want to play, but like overall, like I'm interested in more than half the cast.
Uh-huh.
Like honestly, it blows my mind if you go through King of Fighters 50 plus characters and you cannot find a character to play.
You gotta hold that L.
Like, if you cannot find a character to play, I think there's something wrong with it.
Oh my god.
There's so many interesting characters in King of Fighters. Like, there's no way you can't find a character that you like.
I'm gonna use the leader of Team China, the pop star girl, and maybe King of Dinosaurs.
You're not gonna use the Root Sandstorm?
Oh fuck, maybe I will. I'll figure it out, man. This stream is just gonna get me to play fucking everybody. But Killey, I'm fucking forcing you to play the Team 6 with us on the stream.
Oh god.
You're gonna be playing Team Battles with us. We're gonna get destroyed by 40 frame delay. I can't wait for the team battles, man. It's gonna be so funny. Oh, KOF. And it's got online training. Online training. Very important, guys. Online training mode.
That netcode very good, man.
Oh, don't even talk about the netcode right now. I don't want to think about it.
Everything rides on that netcode.
Everything rides. We can't burn to fight. On the fit legs. It's gonna be burn to leg. Oh my god. Please no. Please. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So that's in August. But yeah, man, that's it for the podcast today, guys. Like, we're just talking about our current thoughts on the game and what to look forward to, and like I said, I was hoping that Capcom would announce like the next DLC character, but I guess we'll find out really soon. At least, the latest would be like during the tournament, right? This weekend. They'll announce it after the finals. So yeah. You gonna watch X-Men tomorrow, Killey?
Yes, yeah.
Make sure you let me know how it is.
The reviews are like all over the place.
Oh, really? Yeah, I saw it was like 50% on tomatoes or some shit. But whatever. It's cape shit. Like, you're gonna watch it anyways. It is what it is.
It's a popcorn movie.
Yeah, there you go, man. There you go. Just hopefully you don't have to like stay behind the credits in the theater. Oh god.
You hate that?
I remember Civil War. There was like one in the middle and then one at the end. It's like, holy shit, man. I just like it when it's just like right after the movie, but whatever. People, I guess, like to stay in chit chat, But yeah, Killey, thanks for hanging out with me for the podcast, man. We'll talk about some more stuff in the future, and just wait on whatever news is coming by. So everyone who's watching this or listening to this, let me know what you guys think about this whole 8-frame delay thing, and what you guys think about Street Fighter V's like current state right now, and what Capcom needs to do to get this game picking up, and how this will affect pro games in the future, and what fighting games you are looking forward to as well this summer. But anyways, guys, thanks for listening. Take care.